Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to.
You were telling us about the worst case, that you have handled.
So I needed to say that because sometimes we think that the worst case we have is the one we lost. The worst case we have may not necessarily be the one we lost. It may also be the one we won, for which we felt that because of certain institutional failures, such judgment was rendered. And I was talking about a case that I was assigned to me on pro bono basis when I was chairman of NBA Abuja. That was around 2011. It was assigned to me by Honorable Justice Mudashiro Niyangi of the FCT High Court, who retired as a justice of the Court of Appeal. It was a case involving a policeman who was charged with unlawful killing of some other persons while on duty somewhere in Paiko around Gobalada. And I defended that case. And in that case, my disappointment stemmed from the fact, even though we got the accused person acquitted, but my disappointment in that case stemmed from what I considered the institutional unwillingness and failure to produce persons who witnessed the crime to testify. The police prosecutor deliberately, in my view, brought persons who never witnessed the incident to give
evidence.
Yes. So the evidence that they knew was not reliable, and they presented them, and all we needed to do was to show that these persons did not witness, that what they were bringing was what we call hearsay evidence. And so they closed there, and even the judge was furious in his ruling that the police deliberately did not call the right witnesses. They brought persons who became aware of the incident much later, who did not carry out the proper investigation, and the judge felt that, and I do too, that those witnesses and evidence were deliberately kept away so as to aid the accused person. And it was not my duty as defense counsel really to force them to bring them. But it brings home to me the fact that many cases fail in our court, not because, or many persons may be acquitted in our court, not because they are innocent, but because of poor investigation, poor prosecution, failure to call right persons, or deliberate effort to subvert the prosecution of that case. So even though we won that case, the man was acquitted, I did not feel that justice was served because the right evidence was not called, and the man, in my thinking, walked free because the police aided him to walk free. Not that if I got those witnesses, I would not have discharged my duties as a lawyer, but I felt that for any acquittal to be worth it, every evidence that can be produced should be produced so that the court will be able to fully analyze the fact on the very before rendering a decision. But where persons are deliberately kept away to secure an acquittal, then there's something wrong with that. So it remains a fair outcome that I achieved, but which I felt was disappointing because it was a letdown to the society, because people have been killed. And I did not think that justice was served in that case. And when the man subsequently came to me to help him write to the police for his reinstatement, I told him that I would not be able to do that. I did not think that he was such a person who had the temperament to be integrated into the police, because the killing arose out of his inability to control his temper.
Okay. Which is the most difficult case or the most difficult brief that you have handled in your career? Can you remember?
I'm not going to talk about that. Every case is difficult and complex. And when you start singling them out, and then somebody will say, oh, there's nothing in this. Why is he saying it's very difficult? So a case will be difficult because of the issues involved, because of the emotions that those involved in it may have invested, because of the long time it has taken to come to just like for a criminal trial that we just finished last year or this year, that lasted for 7 years. And the assets of people were confiscated. And then the value of their money, which was in bank, which the EFCC refused that we should move to an interest yielding account. And that bank and the bank where the money is more or less distressed. And they are now begging to get their money after 7 years. So if it depends on the different circumstances. So I will not be able to answer you because every case is important, every case is difficult, and it is the thinking that a case is very simple that most times makes lawyers make mistakes and not give a case what it should take for them to give it a robust defense or prosecution.
Okay, just like in every profession, we have a number of lawyers who are not doing okay, who are not successful, who, you see them, they look tattered, they don't look nicely put together and stuff. Why do we have this? I don't want to use the word prevalent, Okay, why do we have some lawyers who are not making it in the profession. Let me just put my question that way.
As I don't have statistics that there are many lawyers who are not doing well in the profession. But in an economy like ours, it is expected that some lawyers will not be doing as well as others. And we may not also be able to judge a book by the cover. The fact that in our thinking, a lawyer may look at that may not be suggesting that he's not doing well. It may be attributed to the person's dress sense. It may be attributed to the person's taste. So, and the person will be finely arrayed, expensive looking clothes, and maybe the most indebted lawyer in town. Right, big cars. So those may not be indices. But I look at the profession and success in the profession, and indeed in any field, from the satisfaction it gives the person, self-actualization, not from the material benefit people derive from it, for what you're able to do with your profession. So if we only judge success in a profession by the material benefits or how the people look, we may miss the point. But yeah, the economy, lawyers cannot pretend to be insulated from an economy. So if an economy is not doing well, lawyers will be affected with the business. So if the clients cannot pay for our services, if money is not really available, lawyers like all traders in the service market will be affected one way or the other. So just like doctors and every other professionals, we are part of society living and can't pretend to be insulated in. But as to a judgment of how a lawyer looks as to a determinant of whether he's successful or not, I'm not able to attribute that to how much they may have in their pocket or the satisfaction they derive from it.
Is your elder brother also a senior advocate?
Well, he never wanted to apply for silk until this year. So he's one of those that will be conferred with the rank in November 26th. He's one of the finest advocates I've met. And I don't say this because he's my brother. I say because he's exceptionally very good. And if you're also to seek independent opinion, I'm sure you come back with the same response.